Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This angle is kind of weird. I don't know if I'm feeling it. You guys can see the mess in the background. So today's video is another Zodiac video in honor of 7 Daws. So if you guys are not aware of what 7 Daws is, it's basically 7 days of straight Zodiac videos. It also comes with a sale on Zodiac Haven, which gets you 20% off of Zodiac merchandise. Like this one right here. This is my I Feel Like an Aquarius shirt. We also got necklaces, tapestries, rings, pillows, mugs, crew necks, hats, everything you can think of Zodiac. So if you want 20% off, use the coupon code 7DAWS right now. You can use it until the end of 7 days of Zodiac and get yourself some cheap, cute merch. So this is the last 7 Daws video, so I guess I'll extend the sale for a couple days past 7 Daws. But yeah, this is the last one, so if you want to see 7 Daws make a comeback, then make sure to subscribe or tell your friends to subscribe, because when I hit 50K, I'm going to do it once again. How many times have I said 7 Daws in this video? So thank you guys for staying tuned for this 7-day thing, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's get right into the video. Today we're talking about the signs and what they are afraid of, so some of their fears. Okay, so let's start with Libra. There are 2 fears that I would say. One of them sounds very cliche and you guys are probably going to guess it. I believe that the Libra is afraid of making the wrong choice. It all comes back to obviously them being indecisive and never knowing what they want. I think that they constantly fear that they're just making the wrong decision, and they fear that they've made the wrong decision, so they try and justify all the decisions with logic and stuff that they believe in, but they really don't like the thought of messing up and making the wrong choice. So that's something that kind of stays on their mind. Even like after they make a decision, they still have that on their mind. Like, they're never really like that 100% sure of what they're doing in themselves. Another thing that they fear that they're like uncomfortable with would be like other people having problems with them, between them and another friend, between them and a lover, between their 2 friends. They're just like a mediator. So if people around them are arguing, they like to diffuse the situation. If they're arguing with someone, they like to diffuse the situation. They don't like having like bad blood or negativity, and that's something that kind of makes them uncomfortable and scares them. So that's another thing. Let's go on to the, well, what's next? I never start with Libra, so I can't even, oh, Scorpio. Scorpios are afraid of people knowing too much about them. They don't like people knowing anything about them. Like, it's so strange. Like, they just, they don't share information for no particular reason. They just don't feel the need to share things. Like, for example, I have a friend who's trying to get another friend's Instagram, and the guy just won't give him the Instagram. He just keeps saying like, nah, avoiding the topic. But it's like he has nothing to hide on there, and I know it. He's just being weird about it because he's a Scorpio, you know? Like, that's just how people are. I don't know what it is about these Scorpio people, but they just don't like sharing too much about themselves, and they don't like people knowing anything about them. Another thing that they fear is not falling in love. They want to make sure they have someone that loves them and that they are completely themselves with, and someone that they have like fallen for. Like, they just want, they love love, you know, they're Scorpios. They love love, so they really want to just fall in love, and it kind of scares them. The thought of like being alone kind of scares them. Sorry if this is a short video. The memory on this camera is running out because I've filmed so many videos for 7 Daws, so I can't delete them. Yeah, so next is the Sagittarius. As you guys know, Sagittarius do not like being disliked by others. That is a fear of theirs. I'm sorry if I get repetitive. That's why I don't do too many Zodiac videos, because I feel like they get repetitive. But a fear of theirs is not being liked by everybody. They cannot stand it. But a deep-rooted fear that kind of branches off of that is not being loved back by the person that they love. They feel like they're always doing too much for the person they love. They feel like they love so hard, guys. Like, they are lovers. Like, when they're in a relationship, they will do anything for you. They're so sweet. So they fear that the person that they're with won't love them as much as they love them. Like, they get possessive and they get really like strange about it. That's why they get so possessive, to be honest. They get super possessive. Another thing that they fear is losing the person they love, losing people that they love, like whether it be friends or family. Like, they get possessive over their friends too. Like, it's not just a romantic thing. They get possessive over everyone. So they just have that fear of losing someone close to them, and that can really affect them. Capricorn's fear is not having enough money. They like financial security. They feel they're most confident and most like comfortable when they have a good amount of money in the bank. They are very, very, very money oriented people, and they fear not having enough money or being poor. I have yet to meet a poor Capricorn. I've met cheap Capricorns, but I have not met poor Capricorns. Another thing that they fear is people seeing their real self. They don't like people seeing who they really are, like their loving side and their affectionate side and their compassionate side. They kind of fear opening up to people in a way because that's not really in their personality. That's why Capricorns kind of seem like robots, because a lot of people can't see past their like outer layer, and they don't like letting people in, so they kind of fear letting people in. Aquarius are kind of similar to Capricorn in that way. We don't like people seeing our true self. We fear not our true self because we're very like open and you kind of get a grasp of our personality within seconds, but we fear people like opening up our heart. Like we're so emotionally detached. Like an Aquarius can date like 10 people and still have not fallen in love. You know what I mean? Like Aquarius are scared of love. We're scared of opening up and being real with someone about our emotions and our feelings. We're just scared of opening up to people. I don't know what it is. We just don't like opening up to people. We're scared of vulnerability, really. Like we're just scared of being vulnerable. That also comes back to us having this fear of having our pride knocked aside. Like our ego is huge, so we basically, all of our fears I feel like are rooted from our pride issues, and we all know pride is a 7 deadly sin. So I don't know, I just think that anything that has to do with our pride or being vulnerable or anything like that or showing our emotion is just like it's a no-no. Like we're scared of that. We also have this deep-rooted fear of people not accepting us. We are very unapologetically ourselves. We're weird. You know how we are, guys. Like we don't care what people think. But deep down, I don't care what Aquarius you speak to, we also have this fear of not being accepted by others. It's weird. It's like a strange thing. I don't know. Pisces is always afraid of not pursuing their passions. Like they're just afraid of life. I feel like they're scared that they're gonna be miserable for the rest of their lives. They have this fear that like if they don't do what they love, they're gonna be miserable, but they're also scared of doing what they love because they're scared of failing. And it's like that's why a lot of Pisces are stuck in a rut, because it's like they don't want to do something that they know that they hate because they're not passionate about it, but they also don't want to do what they are passionate about because they're so scared of failing and being disappointed and demotivated that they just kind of stay stuck for a while in the same place in life. And that's why I feel like a lot of Pisces like give up on things but also don't start new things. They're just kind of like chilling, and that's why Pisces come across as lazy. But once they find that passion that they're good at, they will excel. They're so good. They're so good. Another fear that a Pisces has is others will never understand them. They always feel like no one understands them, even though people do. They just constantly fear that people don't get what's going on in their minds, and they can't like put into words what they're going through, and they just fear people not understanding. That's why they don't open up about what they're feeling. They open up about their emotions, but they don't open up about their reasoning behind their emotions. So they won't tell you why they're feeling what they're feeling. You know what I mean? Like a Pisces will tell you they're really sad and depressed, but they will never get to the reason why they're sad and depressed. They'll pretend they don't know even though they do, because they just don't think you'll ever understand. Aries, they are scared of things not going their way. They're scared of things getting out of control. They like to be in control of everything, so they want everything to go in a certain way, and they fear things not happening the way they plan them out to be. So if they have a plan for their future and like a 5-year plan, they have a low-key fear of that 5-year plan not happening the way that they drew it out in their mind. You know what I mean? They also are kind of like the Scorpio, in which they fear being alone. They don't want to be alone. They hate being alone, so they want someone with them. I'm not saying they're dependent on others, because they're pretty good with themselves. They're pretty independent, but when it comes to romantic relationships, they do fear being alone, and they always kind of need someone. Aries is the kind of person that will always casually date someone, even if they like are single, because they don't want to be alone until they find the right one. So they have a fear of being alone. Taurus have this fear of people using them and of people taking advantage of them. They think that everyone's kind of out to get them. Like they go out of their way to help people, and they do so much for people that they kind of expect in return, and they fear that no one will really meet their expectations and go all out for them the way that they did for others. And they fear that they're being used and mistreated and taken advantage of, and they don't really say anything about it because they don't want to seem crazy. So they just kind of have this low-key fear of that, and it's really different because I feel like they don't really have to have that fear. They just don't need to do so much for people, but they do, so they just feel like they're constantly being taken advantage of. Taurus also kind of are afraid of the fact that they can't guarantee the future, so they don't know that, like, they're scared of living like a mediocre life. Like, they don't want to live a mediocre life. They want nice things, they want nice house, they want nice car, vacation, everything. Like, they want that. They just want like stability, and they want to know that things are going to be good for them, and they kind of fear living just like a plain mediocre life. That's why they work so hard. Sometimes people say that Taurus are lazy. They can be lazy, but they're also very like hard workers. It's hard to describe. I think they're both. I think they're lazy, really lazy when it comes to certain things, but they're also hardworking. So that's why they are that way, because they fear living a regular life. Then there's a Gemini. Geminis are scared of people seeing the true them. They don't like people seeing the real them. They are like, Geminis are a walking contradiction. They really are. They are like super real, but they're also super fake. So it's like you get their personality, but there's also another side of them that they like completely don't show anyone. And they fear people seeing that true side of them because they just want to always seem like mysterious for some reason. So they work hard at putting on a whole new persona, which is also them but not them, and they just kind of fear people seeing through them. So another fear that the Gemini may have is people being like better than them. Like, how to explain it? So for example, like if you're best friends with the Gemini and you find a new friend, they will fear that your new friend is better than them. If you're dating a Gemini, they'll fear that your ex is better than them, which is weird because they're so confident and they don't really care about others and what other people think sometimes, but like they just don't like the idea of people being better than them. And it's not so much like the ego, it's not so much like how the Leo is. It's like a different way. It kind of makes more sense, but it's like they don't like people being better than them. They just don't want to hear it. So, but they are confident. Like, it's not like they're insecure and they're like, oh, blah blah, like I'm not good enough. No, they're not like that. They are confident as a sign, but they just don't like the idea of someone being better than them. The Leo is scared of not being successful. Not even like the Taurus. They don't even need like an extra life, but they fear not being successful and not getting what they want and what they've worked so hard for. Leos are really hard workers, so they tend to go after things and get them, but they always have this fear in the back of their mind, like what if they don't achieve this, or what if blah blah blah. Like the Leo's the kind of person that will tell you like I'm gonna be rich, but in the back of their mind they're like, oh my god, what if I'm not? Like, what if I fail at this? What if I don't end up doing this? What if I don't end up doing that? Another fear that the Leo has is not being accepted by others, which is crazy because they're so cocky and arrogant, but they care so much what people think. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you're a Leo and you're in the comments like, you don't know me, you know nothing about me, blah, blah, blah. I don't care because I don't believe you. Every Leo that I've ever met and everything that I've read and everything that I've analyzed tells me that Leos care so much what people think. They have this complex. They don't know how to accept themselves. And yes, as cocky and arrogant as they are, they also are low-key like in their heads and insecure because they just want to make sure that everybody accepts them and that they are just like, you know, that I don't know how to explain it. They just want to make sure that everybody accepts them and thinks they're like top shit. Like, it's kind of weird. It's a Leo thing. I don't know. Virgo is scared of people catching on to them as much as they catch on to others. Because the Virgo analyzes so much, they think that other people do the same thing to them. So they're scared that like people will be onto them and their thoughts and their you know, their secrets. And they don't like the idea of that. They don't like people, you know, understanding their minds as much as they understand theirs, you know what I mean? Because like I said, they analyze so much, so they just think that everyone is out to get them. They're very like defensive people, and this is because they're in their head so much and they think that you're catching on to everything that's going on in their mind. So they get really defensive about things because they think that you're onto them, but you're not. They just have this fear of people just knowing too much, but it's not the case because no people don't analyze as much as the Virgo do. I do. I think it's because I have Virgo in my chart, but yeah, people don't analyze that much. Another fear that the Virgo has would be being alone. Kind of like the Leo, sorry, kind of like the Aries and the Scorpio. They don't like being alone. They like to date around, and they just, you know, they like to have someone always. Okay guys, so that concludes the video. I have talked about every sign and a couple fears that they have. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it relatable. If you did, don't forget to give it thumbs up and all that stuff. If you enjoyed 7 Daws, like I said, it's over now, but it will make a comeback at 50K if you guys want it to, so make sure you get everybody to subscribe. I gotta do a giveaway soon. I'm just waiting for the stuff to ship to my house, but I really do want to do that Zodiac Haven giveaway soon, so I can thank you guys for getting me this, like, such a growth in subscribers so quickly, for buying, for supporting, for being awesome. So yeah, that will be my thank you to you guys. Obviously there's no way I can really say thank you, but I want to do what I can to be grateful for you guys and show my gratitude. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, don't forget, if you want to get any Zodiac merch on zodiachaven.com, you can use the coupon code 7Daws, get 20% off of your order until the sale ends. It will end in the next few days. Even though I said 7 days, I will extend it because I know some people are like waiting until payday or whatever. So you have a little bit more time, so try it out. If you're watching this video late, just go on the site and try and see if the coupon code works. If it does, hey, you got something, so that's great. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will definitely see you in the next video. Bye!